Good morning. It's time for another episode of Karl's Losing It, episode I think 8 at this point. It is currently 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, 4/22, 2023. Um yeah, I weighed myself this morning. Normally I weigh myself on Sunday nights for whatever reason. But this is different. So, anyway, on May 17th, I am going to be picking up my girlfriend from the airport. That is the plan. She's going to be flying up here, and then I'm going to pick her up at that time. Um, and we're going to have lots of fun together. We're going to go on dates and stuff and spend 3 days together. It's going to be great. Anyway, my plan, see, she talked to me and she said effectively that she realized that she was going to see me, that she was going to, come up here and all of that stuff. And that she's been going to the gym and trying to like lose weight before she comes up here because she's because she has goals that are like I have, but she's actually doing something about it. She's going to the gym, you know, and I think that I should match her in that. So I'm going to set a goal. I have weighted at 380 pounds even, 380.0 this morning. Now I don't know if hydration had a part in it because I didn't drink any water yet this morning. Until that point, always be drinking water. But regardless of the water, regardless of the water, what? Regardless of the water, I think that I will have two sets of goals. Two goals. Okay. One that is more attainable, and one stretch goal. So, the stretch goal being there so that I can continue on and not rest on my laurels should I meet goal number one. So, I am going to start actually working out is the plan. So my goal will be to be at 370 even or less in on April 17th. April 17th is how far away? Because it's 17 days in May plus 8 days left is 25 days. 25 days, 10 pounds. Seems reasonable, right? Or reasonable enough, because if you divide that up, that's almost 4 weeks. That's about 2.5 pounds a week. So that means by this time next week, which would be the 29th or 30th if I decide to do it on Sunday, at that time, I should be at 377 or thereabout. Lose 3 pounds in the next week. It's doable. I can do it. I think I can. I gotta work at it. I gotta really push, and I have to eat right. That's gonna be the hard part. I think is gonna be eating. But I can. I always think to myself, if I get out and I exercise daily, because I basically get zero exercise whatsoever, if I actually get exercise on a consistent basis and I don't eat myself out of house and home, I think that I can maintain a healthy weight. I am far from it right now, being 380 pounds. for reference, I guess, I am 6'4", which puts my BMI at like 50 something. Hold on, let me BMI calculate quick. I know BMI is kind of BS, but it at least gives you an indicator for something, right? So I'm 6'4", 380 even. BMI is 46.3. Now, according to to this BMI calculator, obesity is 30 or greater. So I am obese according to the BMI calculator. So to be overweight, I believe I have to be under 225. No, because 225 will be 27.4. Is it 240? Yeah, it's about 240, 245 or so would be overweight. And I would be happy being overweight. Because for reference, the last time that I weighed 240 pounds was in high school. I am now in law school in my third year. It has been, oh, jeepers cripes, because 240, I actually lost weight because I was sitting about 250 when I was in 10th grade, I believe. No, ninth grade. I was in ninth grade. I was going to go on a band trip to Colorado. And one of the things we were going to do in Colorado was we were going to ride horses in I think it was not Estes Park. Estes Park was the theme park we went to. What the heck? The Garden of the Gods. We were going to ride horses in the Garden of the Gods. And it was a great experience. I got to do it. But they said, the organization that had, they put together this thing, they have horses, and then you just go and y'all get in a big trail of horses and y'all ride horses together. They said you can't be over 250. You can't be over 250. That was the rule, right? Can't be over 250, or you won't be able to. You won't be able to ride the horse, or because that's cruel on the horse. Horse has to carry your fat ass, right? So my band teacher had put that on like the sign up sheet or whatever for registration for this band trip to Colorado, and I was like about 250. It's like right on the line. And he came up to all of us that were about the line or about that ish, right? He came up and he went, hey, just let me ask you, you're close to the line. Do you want to ride horses? If you want to ride horses, you should probably be under that number, a considerable amount, under 250, so it doesn't look terrible. And I went, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna do it. And I no joke, I lost 10 pounds. Which I lost 10 pounds in about a month. From 250 to 240. I did. To make sure that I was... And in fact, it paid off. I rode a horse. They got a big one. And that actually was a different fun story. So we got out there to this ranch or whatever. This ranch-looking place. They got all these horses, right? They're we're all sitting on benches and whatever. We're all sitting around on benches and stuff. We're all good. And like the leader guy, he was like this old grizzled cowboy looking dude. I think he even had a southernish accent, or western or whatever you want to call it. And he came up and he goes, "How much you weigh?" I went, "A little under 250. He said, "You come here." And he pulled me into a room next to where the benches were. And not a joke, there's a scale, not a digital one, an analog scale on the ground. He said, "Get up on there." And so I did. 240. Clothes on, shoes on, 240. And he went, and then he went, he was grumbling because he was like, "This is BS." And he walks out there and he yells, "Bring out the taker." I swear. Because, see, like, the other students who were much lighter than me, right? They didn't care. They didn't care about them. But they were like, "Well, we don't want to put him on a normal horse." So they put me on Undertaker, was the name of the horse. because apparently this horse, this was a large horse, which fits because I'm a large guy. They put me on a big horse. And, they put me on a big horse, and apparently this horse had been used to pull a funeral wagon at some point, I believe, or they were from a line of horses that pulled funeral wagons or something like that. Anyway, I rode this big old whitish gray horse. There's a female horse. The Undertaker, which is a very serious and sinister name for a horse, especially given that there's a professional wrestler named The Undertaker. I wasn't short back then either. I think I was about 6 foot, maybe 5'11". So if I plug that in, if I say I was 5'11 and 240, I would be at 33.5, which would have meant I was obese. Technically. Now my BMI is much smaller at that point than it is now. But my BMI has gone up and down and whatever. So let me see, because 5'11 and 240 was 33.5. That might be the best I had. But I think I was 6'2" in college, and I think I got to 265, which puts me at 34. So my best BMI in my life probably would have been about that time, unless I think I was like 5'2", maybe. No, I think I was taller than my mom. I think I was 5'5", and I was 180. I was 30. So there, I was just barely obese. I was obese as a child. Or at least very overweight as a child. I was tall. So it wasn't as... it's still kind of not noticeable. See, like if I... Let me get into view here. So, see, like, people don't look at me. Like, you can see, like, I got fat here. I got a little love handle action going, but if I pull my shirt back, right, it's not terrible. Like, you wouldn't think of me and go, "Oh yeah, that guy has a serious health problem," right? Like, you wouldn't, and I don't really have any comorbidities or anything with it, but, like, nobody, like, people go, "Oh yeah, that guy's heavy." But I'm not about to get a show on, what is it, TLC has a show, I think, the 600-pound life. I'm not there. When I tell people that I'm 380 pounds, they don't believe me. Because if you look at me, like, I'm tall, So that helps with how I look. So losing 10 pounds might not look a whole lot different, but I wanted to show how I looked if there is a difference. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. What I really want is some like collarbone definition right here. Because I lost some of that. I used to have that in college. See, the other thing about when I was when I was at like 260, 265 or whatever is I think I had more lean muscle mass at that time. I could be wrong. I could be wrong and I don't have more lean muscle mass, but I think I did. Anyway, that's the goal. I'm going to try and lose 10 pounds in 25 days. I'm going to see what happens. I suppose that equates to, what is it? I suppose 10 pounds divided by 25 days, that's 0.4 pounds a day. Think about that shit. Because 10 pounds in 25 days is, like, for a lot of people, that would be a big goal. But for me, I think it's a necessary goal. So, I'll check back in with you. Stay healthy, stay happy. We'll see what happens.